Hello, ReZero fans. Welcome back to another video on the channel. And you're probably wondering, why ain't my beautiful face showing full screen on the camera right now to welcome you all? And that's because I had some technical difficulties with the webcam. Hopefully this will be resolved next week. Currently going through a bit of some changes with new webcams and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately you're going to have to be dealing with the blocky version of me today. Alas, I bring to you Minecraft gameplay while we discuss the new episode's contents. Because, oh my god, peak episodes. Now, I know I say that every week. But honestly, I really fucking enjoyed this episode. It puts a whole different perspective into things. We get to experience new things through Amnesia Subaru's eyes. A lot of things have happened this episode, so I am very excited to get into it. And yeah, no, enjoy the Minecraft gameplay as well. Honestly, let's get into the episode's content. The episode starts off with Subaru stepping out of the Pleiades watchtower as the ground beneath him rises. A desert worm Marbeast sends Subaru up in the air and prepares to swallow him whole. However, a mysterious force saves him by eradicating the Marbeast. And judging by the familiar attack, it seems to have been Shawla. Subaru lands and begins asking the pre-amnesia Subaru Natsuki to answer him about what kind of situation this new amnesia Subaru is in. The sun begins descending beneath Subaru as he falls down below. Now that Subaru has left the tower, he's had the mindset that he'd rather face the monsters or whatever mystery is out there waiting for him outside of the tower than just letting and allowing this mysterious killer to keep on murdering him each and every loop. He's decided to take his chances in the outside desert than stick around and allow people to kill him. Now this new Subaru is under the impression that the group overall have a certain image of him. They have an image that this Subaru can accomplish all their troubles, that can save them. Like he's basically they're bigged him up to be an image of himself that this current Subaru thinks is impossible. Now this Subaru that we have right now, this amnesia Subaru, is coming from his old world. You know what I mean? This whole all the experiences he's seeing right now is straight from him leaving the convenience store. He still feels very insecure in himself, isolated, he hates himself. We're with that Subaru, so when he keeps hearing all these things from the group talking about this past Subaru, how this Subaru is able to get them past any predicament, knows what he's doing. This current Subaru that we have doesn't, you know what I mean? He thinks this is impossible. He doesn't think he's capable of such things. And obviously, when he heard the group talking behind his back, he really put it into perspective that they want this old Subaru and this new Subaru that they have. He can't live up to the expectations, which has forced him to kind of leave, as well as him being murdered time and time again. This is something only the old Subaru knows, and it's something that this new Subaru has to pull up with. Subaru then wakes up in the Hell Cave, where he's met with Marbeast remains and blood, seemingly what remains of whatever the worm Marbeast had eaten before. The blood and corpses terrify Subaru as he freaks out and runs further into the cave. Now it seems Subaru has taken the right path instead of the left, as we're met with him being able to open the mysterious walls that seem to block his path. However, this also means that the further Subaru goes into the cave, the more into insanity he will enter, because the miasma still exists. The miasma is still a thing. It's a thing that's impossible to move or remove or get past. So the further Subaru now goes down this route, the miasma will still be affecting him. Something that we saw in the previous episode when the group were under its effects. We saw them get driven into insanity. We saw them murder each other. This is something the new Subaru will now be consuming. He reaches the fourth wall that doesn't seem to budge. As this pisses off Subaru even more, he begins lashing out against the wall, shouting and bashing his head against it. As he begins complaining that he's done all that running and walking just to get blocks off here, Subaru then gets mysteriously warped from the Hell Cave right back into the Pleiades watchtower entrance. Subaru, now affected by the miasma's effects and feeling himself backed into a corner, begins climbing the stairs upwards, chanting on how he doesn't know which one of the group keeps killing him, but begins singing that he'll kill them all as he ascends the staircase. And yes, ladies and gents, this is the infamous aura monster scene that everyone has been memeing about on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's finally got animated, and most people were disappointed because there was no impact frames, there was no special effects. It was quite literally just Subaru walking up some stairs singing about here he was going to kill the group. And obviously the way the shots were angled, it was more angled at his feet than anything. But you know what I mean? The scene wasn't gonna do no meme justice. The scene was gonna do the light novel justice. The scene itself has no impacts per se. It's just a scene of how the miasma has affected Subaru and how he's now under the effects of it, and how now he wants to kill the gang before someone kills him. Reaching the top now, Subaru is met with none other than the mutilated corpse of Shola. This is the first time that Amnesia Subaru has seen a human corpse since the whole ordeal. Yes, he's been killed twice, but he's never had to see his own dead body before him, and naturally, seeing Shola's body freaks him out. It's a total contrast to how he was just chanting about murdering them himself, to the way he reacts now seeing an actual dead body before him. It just goes to show that, amnesia or not, Subaru isn't somebody who's capable of murdering anyone, especially out of malicious. Subaru continues through the tower as he finds Ram's deceased body. She seems to have been attacked while protecting Rem, judging from the position of her corpse against the wheelchair. Now, I won't be showing the corpses as it's very graphic and I'm not sure how YouTube deals with such content, so I'll just keep the images blurred. He then finds Julius's and Miley's bodies, and the way Julius died and is positioned, it seems he has acted as some sort of shield to whatever attacks him and Miley. He died on his knees with Miley's dead body behind him, showing no matter what, Julius is a knight to his core. He then finds Anastasia's dead body, as it seems no matter how Anastasia dies this arc, no matter the loop, she'll always be sliced in half, it seems. Subaru, now shocked and disorientated after seeing more than half the group dead and murdered before him, says it must be Amelia or Beatrice who keep killing him in previous loops, as he was unable to find their bodies. Now, we know why Subaru couldn't find Beatrice's body, but this new Subaru is unaware that when a spirit dies, like we've seen happen to Beatrice previously in different loops, they just disappear into light particles and vanish. So assuming Beatrice was killed, her body wouldn't be found no matter what. As for Amelia, this is a prediction on my part, but something attacks the tower, which we will get into in a sec. And since Amelia is the only one who can ascend the tower further, the group may have found out about this mysterious force beforehand, which probably led to Amelia ascending the floors solo in order to find a solution before it's too late. But that's just my current thoughts and opinions. Anyways, Patrichet finds Subaru as the ground dragon seems to have been left unharmed, as Subaru begins leaving, shouting at the ground dragon to leave him alone, that the group are far up their own arses to care about anything else around them besides themselves, how they're expecting so much from Subaru, yet to him he's woken up into this new world with no explanation. He's been murdered time and time again, and these people just have impossible expectations upon him. Patrichet refusing to leave, however, Subaru lunges at her with the broken remains of Julius's sword as he stabs her. However, despite being now stabbed, Patricia locks the fuck in, completely mugs, and shows no reaction. All jokes aside, it shows how loyal Patricia is and shows she understands and loves Subaru very much. She understands that Subaru is suffering and clearly very confused in his current position. The fact Subaru stabs her and she takes it regardless says a lot about how much she loves, understands and adores Subaru. Now, this current Subaru is aware the group have kind of been talking behind his back. Someone's murdering him. The group expects impossible things from Subaru. He's under the current effects of the miasma. This is why he stabbed Patrichet. However, Patrichet, being the loyal goat herself, accepts being stabbed by Subaru and just does nothing about it. There's no reaction. It just shows how much she loves and adores Subaru very much. No matter what Subaru does to her, no matter what, she'll always be on Subaru's side. She'll always understand Subaru. Hence why she didn't lash out, she didn't run away. She's in pain, but she isn't reacting. She doesn't want to show Subaru that she's in pain. It just goes to show how much Subaru means to Patricia. A black mist of sorts appears and it looks like whatever it touches, it breaks down the material as the tower begins crumbling because of this. Patricia throws Subaru on top of her as she attempts to take him to safety. Some of the black mist hits Patricia as it breaks down her flesh, as Subaru realises that she's currently in a lot of pain due to him stabbing her. Hitting a dead end by all the black mist, Patricia shoves Subaru into the mysterious wall that leads to the balcony as Patricia gets enveloped by the mist. Now at the balcony, Subaru looks down and realises the tower is collapsing, and oh my god. A voice and somebody we're all too familiar with appears behind Subaru and she says, "I hope you can figure it out next time, hero," as Subaru gets beheaded. Now, if we really look at the image of this mysterious person and the familiar voice, it seems to have been Rem. Now, this would be a complete shock to anime onlys, and they may be wondering, how is Rem awake? What's with the malicious tone, and why has she just killed Subaru? All will soon get explained, but it's nothing short of nightmarish. Subaru returns by death now to his usual spot where Amelia and Beatrice are worried about him. Subaru begins reaching out for Amelia's neck as he sort of snaps out of it when Amelia says his name. Now, in the light novel, I believe it's described a bit nastier. I think it's stated that Subaru touches Amelia's neck or goes to touch her neck as well as in the anime, but it's kind of an inner monologue as he kind of says that her neck is quite fragile and could be easy to break, realising that if he really wanted to, he could quite literally strangle Amelia and break her neck easily. Now, this is kind of an evil thing to think about to yourself, so I'm kind of happy he broke out of that funk that he found himself in, because honestly, thank God. Subaru spots Patricide and immediately runs over to her, hugging the ground dragon and rubbing the spot where he had stabbed her in the past loop, showing that this new Subaru has a newfound complete trust in Patricide after she risked her life to save him. And it's completely understandable, because going back to what I said before, this new Subaru completely has distrust in the group. There's a mysterious person killing him, he doesn't know who it is, he's very insecure in himself already, so when he heard the group talking bad about him, that kind of made him distrust them even more. And ever since he woke up, it seems this group have a high expectation of him, an expectation that he can't meet. He also hasn't found himself in a situation where the group could have possibly saved him, proving their innocence and giving him trust in them. Patricia is the only one that found herself in a situation where she could have saved Subaru and shows that she loves him dearly and that he can trust her, because she quite literally risked her life and saved him. This is what's given Subaru the impression that he can completely trust Patricia. Now, in this loop, Subaru doesn't tell the group about his memory loss. He keeps the information hidden in hopes it leads to new events taking place that'll help him figure out who's after him. He's confused on why somebody would want him dead in the first place. He's under the impression that somebody is murdering him because perhaps the past Subaru had information that the murderer didn't want getting out, which has led to him not telling the group about the memory loss. However, this also confuses him as he doesn't know why he was being murdered in the past loops, because the group would have been under the impression Subaru had no memories, therefore no compromises of information would have been remembered. So yeah, now in this loop, Subaru hasn't told the group that his memories have been lost. He's using this chance in order to give them the false impression that he's still the old Subaru, and with this false impression he believes he'll be able to find out new information on why somebody keeps killing him. Now, his first guess is that a certain person might be killing him because he may have information that that person doesn't want getting out to the rest of the group. However, that's why this also confuses him, because in the past two loops, he was outright being truthful and said that he has memory loss, he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't remember anyone in the room, so that's why it's confusing him that this person is still trying to kill him. So maybe it's not a matter of information getting out at all. As Julius and Anastasia walk in, Subaru realises Julius is looking at him quite weirdly, giving him the impression that something went down between the two, which makes him Subaru's first target of information gathering. With this newfound trust in Shola because of her loyalty to him and finding her dead first in the past loop, Subaru asks her to hide in a barrel as a form of countermeasure of safety, as he has a private conversation with Julius about what went down between his non-amnesia self and Julius. Julius, however, is still hurt because of that said situation, and he doesn't want to talk about it any further. As Julius leaves, Shola pops out of the barrel and asks Subaru for the reward he promised her. With enough prying, Subaru caves in and hugs her, which we can see means a lot to her. Like, the girl has been alone for 400 years, and the only person she genuinely cares for and has been loyal to is her master Flugel. Him hugging her kind of gives her a sign that her emotions are kind of being reciprocated to a degree. Like, it just goes to show that a simple hug goes over the moon for her. She's been alone for so long, it seems like she's been so devoted to Flugel, and that Flugel wasn't reciprocating these feelings for her, so a hug means so much to her. But now this situation concludes with Subaru not thinking that Julius is the one murdering him. Now alone, Subaru begins saying how he wishes he and Patricia could just run away and live somewhere, as Miley sneakily announces herself from behind him. She says she has some business with Subaru as she whispers in his ear quite seductively, "You said something to me yesterday, and it got me thinking, how seriously should I take it?" The screen then does a weird censored glitch effect. The room is now dark as a now deceased Miley is now lying dead before Subaru. Subaru freaks out and rushes over to her. He begins performing CPR to no avail. Miley is now dead, as it looks like she was strangled. Subaru, realising the scratch marks on his hand and feels a sharp pain on his wrist. Pulling up his sleeve, the words "Subaru Natsuki was here" are carved into his wrist as the episode ends there. Very, very ominous to say the least. Now, what we can gather from this ending scene is Miley is now dead. She's been strangled to death. There's marks on Subaru's hands, kind of giving us the impression that Subaru was the one that killed her. The marks on his hands show that Miley fought back. She was trying to defend herself against Subaru. Now let's gather what's kind of happened in this scene. We can see that Miley has been strangled to death. Subaru seems to be the one that did it, as the marks on his hands showed that there was a struggle. Miley was clearly on the defensive, trying to save herself from Subaru by holding his hands and trying to stop him. However, Subaru, being confused in his current situation, seeing the word "Subaru Natsuki was here" carved into his wrist, shows that maybe he was possessed. Something mysterious has put Subaru in a predicament where he has now murdered somebody. However, it wasn't him clearly, because one minute he's talking to the girl, the next she's dead before him. Which can only lead to me thinking that Subaru in this current situation was possessed, and maybe he was being set up. But yeah, we now find ourselves with a deceased Miley. She seems to have been strangled to death by Subaru. We believe that Subaru was possessed during this. Now we know Subaru. Subaru isn't capable of killing anyone. He has no malicious intent in him whatsoever. So, to now find himself standing before a body, he's very confused on what happened. He doesn't know that he may be possessed. We don't know that he maybe got possessed. We'll soon find out. But from my interpretation, the glitching shows when the possession takes over. So clearly somebody has taken over Subaru maybe, or made him black out, and then is kind of trying to frame him, in my opinion. I'm not sure, but the reason now that there's a dead body before him, it's created a whole new circumstance. So I'm very excited for next week's episode. But damn, this episode was honestly amazing. Subaru going into the Hell Cave again, the miasma taking over, making him go insane and wanting to kill everyone in the group, putting Subaru in a position it's either them or him, and he wants it to be him so badly that he's willing to kill anyone in the group. This motherfucker rushed up them stairs with a smirk on his face, willing to kill anyone. But it's a nice relief to see that this isn't truly Subaru. Subaru isn't capable of such malicious, such aggression, such murderous intent, because the second he sees a dead body before him, he completely just freaks out. That's the true Subaru that would see a dead body and completely freak the fuck out, throw up. He finds it disgusting. I like to say that Subaru, out of everyone in the group, trusts Patrichet, because let me say it again, Subaru was put in a situation finally where somebody in the group saved him. Like I said before, Subaru was getting murdered. He doesn't know who was murdering him, and all he could think of about the group was that all they wanted from him was expectations. He was just under the impression that they were bad-mouthing him, saying that he's now become an unreliance and that he will hinder their mission into the tower. So overall, Subaru had a false interpretation of the group. In his eyes, they only think about the old Subaru and not the new Subaru's predicament. So now that Subaru has been put into a situation where Patrichet was able to save him, Subaru has no doubt newfound trust and love for Patrichet for saving him, for sacrificing herself, and we kind of get to see it because this leaves Beatrice jealous. But overall, it was a very, very good episode. I like how the episode ended on that cliffhanger with Subaru standing before Miley's dead body, giving us the impression that he killed her. We know that Subaru isn't capable of killing her. Even himself, he's surprised that this has happened, but judging from the circumstances, the marks on his hand, I'm going for the possession. I'm going for that he was possessed. He's killed her. She tried to fight him off. You know what I mean? Everything's leading to he was possessed, and it led him to killing her. But overall, it was a very, very peak cliffhanger. It was very, very dark, and it makes me excited for the next episode. But alas, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. Tell me down in the comment sections down below. And I will be back. I promise I will be back into the in-person type of videos where I'm talking in front of the webcam. So sorry that you've had to watch this Minecraft gameplay over me talking face-to-face, kind of. But this will be sorted out next week, I assure you guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.